we had those pictures and we have the list in the table. So I would like to remove those images. We already know from last session, this is the part in which I'm painting those pictures. So I'm taking them away, okay? Now I would like to add something here to give me what it called like a form. I want to build up a form, and I want in the form to be able to fill up some data, and that data would go to the database. That's a challenging things to do. Let's look at the view that we had, okay? We had a view of the index. If you notice in here, I also deleted some stuff previously, and this is really like making really, I'm taking all the rows from the items table, from the team members table, transfer to the template, and I'm just painting them. But there is nothing really here telling me, put the data there, okay? So I'm gonna really show you how to do that. Let me go into, since I don't wanna reinvent the wheel, I have my own GitHub. And when you get to certificate 2, we talk about GitHub. For now, I'm just going to go to my own. And there is, in fact, I have a lot of repositories. I have a lot of projects that I work on, and one of which, the one that you downloaded, it's called Traits. So I'm going to go to that one, and I should already have all the code there. And if I go to web and Traits, and I should have under the apps, I should have the to-do application, the one that you guys copied. And if you go there, we can look at the views, by the way. I deleted it, so I'm just going to copy it from here so I don't have to redo it, okay? I'm going to copy the index and show you what is different than I deleted a lot of stuff so it will be convenient for you as we're studying, okay? You know what, let's go step by step. In the index here, as you see, what I do, I call those two tables and I show it, okay? In fact, in the original, the team members is something new. So I'm going to remove the team members altogether for now, like as if I have only one table. So I don't really need those team members. And that's fine, because if I refresh, you will see all what I have really, refresh, we don't have any more the pictures here. So I don't really need to read the data from the team members. There's no need for it. One more time. When I get to the index, this is really what I'm getting when I start going to the to-do applications. I'm just calling the items and showing them, but that's not enough. I would like to be able to see a form. So what I would do, I would go the other way around. I am going to show you both things. Let me open that in two screens. By the way, this is so important, the GitHub. It's such an important because you eventually will get lost if you don't have a good backup. So I'm going to go to the templates and I'm going to go to the to-do and the index. By the way, this is a copy of the index, okay? Fair enough? So we have some toolbars, we'll get back to that in a second. What I would like to focus on, this one we already have done, okay? But I really would like to focus on this part. This part, it's the important part. So I'm going to copy it and explain. And then I will explain what is required to make sure that what I put here will go to the right place and don't get an error. Okay, so I'm copying this part, putting it here, and to the index. Okay, in the index we really don't have anything besides that unicorn picture. Maybe I can even take this one. And then we have the list of the items that are already in the table. Okay, one more time. What we have in here, or what we have, it's the image of the unicorn. and we have the table that come from the items table, okay? So if we look at the code here in the view, we're calling the items from the items table. We give it a name item. This is, by the way, the name in Python. We are in Python now. We transfer it to here in the same name, but this is the name inside the template. So when I go to the template, the bottom part here, what do? We have really a table. We made a table. We have a div, which is a block. We have a table, and we have a row. For each item, we're making a row. And inside, we're putting the item ID, item text, and the date it was posted. Now, I would like to add another thing above it, which is a form. What does it mean, a form? Let me show it to you first, and then I will explain. Very important. This is extremely important. Pay attention. A form, it's a new thing that we're learning today. Then we have an action. I will talk about that in a minute. We have a method, post, extremely important. There's something weird here. I will explain in a second. We have an input, which is also a new thing we're going to study today. And then we have another input, which has a different type. So I'm going to go over it again in a second. But let's see how it looks like on the screen. It's going to be between the pictures of the unicorn and the table itself. So I'm going to refresh, and here we go. This is, in fact, really what we put. We have a place to type in, and we have a button. One more time, just so you can see how it is. I will put some more spaces between those two. So it will be, this is, by the way, just adding 2 new empty rows. So I'm refreshing, and please see. This is really the form. The form is these 2 parts. They are inside the form. This is one input, and this is, it really is also, I put it as an input. You could have made a button. It will work the same. But I can make an input in a type of a button. Okay, so if I go here, let's see what it really, how do we read it? Okay, first, before I even start, this one you must put in Django. This is make sure that the communication between this form, between this page and the server I mean to the function here, the index will be secured. Otherwise, it will not be secured. Fair enough? So let me delete this one so you don't get confused. Okay, so we will deal with it in a minute, but this is what I mean. The server is really finally is coming to this function. When I will click the button, I want it to go back to here. How do I know it's going to go back to here? In a minute, it will come to. So I'm raising a lot of questions. I haven't answered many of my own questions. So let's go step by step, and then everything will make sense. First of all, if I want to communicate data, there is 2 ways. The one we studied in this course, and one you will study in the next certificate. The next certificate we will use Ajax. In this certificate, we use a form. A form starts with a tag form, end up with a tag /form. Second, we have to put an action. The reason we're not putting anything inside, because this template, the whole things came from this function. This function have sent me that template. Since this function have sent this template, this form is very smart to know that when I will click on the button to send it, it will send it back to the same function. I repeat. The reason I don't have to put anything in the action, because I want that after I will click on the button called submit. This is, by the way, the button submit. It's an input type of submit. The class is button, so it will look like a button. I can make it a smaller button if I want. It types on top of it a button. It's all of that is just making the design of the button. But this is basically the code for this button. This is it. Okay, you see this one? This is the button. When I click on it, what the form will do, the form will try to look at the action, and it takes the command to whatever in the actions, but here it's empty. So how does it know where to go? It knows because this template that include the form came from this function. This function have sent. So it's going to send it back to the same function. Okay? Hope it's clear. There is one more thing to talk about. It's the method. Usually when we use form, we use a post method. Post is mean send. Send it to the server. There's another one called get. In fact, there are 4, but the 2 most common, you really don't need the other 2. There's a pull, and I won't get even to that, and most of you won't need them. And real life, good programming, you will use also JavaScript, but I can't really avoid teaching you how you do it with a form, because there's so many people using it, they are lacking the knowledge of JavaScript, so they're using only this one, but you will learn both of them. So I do want you to know the other method as well. The method post, usually you'll put in a form method post. It means send. Send it to that function. Which function? Since this is empty, send it to the same function that gave me this template. Which function? It's exactly this one. Hey, but this one doesn't know what to do with it. I will explain that sentence in a second. Okay, but let's first understand the form again. Okay, so we know the button, this is for the submit. So what do we have here? Okay, we just made a little block in the middle, and this is a code for putting data into. By the way, input, it's always really for putting data. By the way, pay attention, the type here is submit, which turns to be like a button. The type here, it's a text. That means you can type your text. This one, it's really turning it to a button, that type. So it's a special type. It has to be submit, not just a button. You can have written here a button, it will make it a button. But when you write submit, it's a very special when it's inside the form. It will send the content in the form to the function that's supposed to handle it. Okay, so that's very important. Type submit here, very important. Then it will look like, as I said, it looks like a button. That's already what we need to know about this button. About this one, very important, the type, it's a text. By the way, there is something called placeholder. What is this one? This is really not necessary, but it's nice. Enter a message. You see what it says here? Look at what happened when, let me refresh. What happened? What is written here? Enter a message. If I click, okay, it really doesn't care about what's inside, but it's giving instruction to the user, okay? Whatever you type here, that's what you will put in there. Let's try that again. Enter a message to submit. Fair enough. You will see in a second that in fact, if I refresh, you see the message have changed. You see that? The message has changed. Okay, whatever you type there, the placeholder, but that's detail. That's not so crucial. You can learn it by yourself too. Okay, so we have 2 inputs. One is to enter and write something into it. And another input is a type of a submit, which will help me when I would click, will take whatever inside and send it to the function. The function job will be to take whatever I'm typing here and put it in the database. And that's the next things we will need to learn, okay? So one more time, to summarize, we have a form. The form, we leave the action empty because it's going to go to the same function that send this template. template means this web page. We use usually in a form, almost always, method post. Then don't forget this one, you don't really need to think about it, just plug it there. Django take care of security. Okay, if you don't put there, Django will not accept your command. So don't even get into it. Honestly, you don't need to. Just put it there and that's it. It makes the form secure. But don't forget, you must put it right there below the first row. Then we have this input to submit. And we have an input in which we can enter data. We don't really have to put it, by the way, we don't have to put it in a div. It just looks nicer, okay? But this div could be even unnecessary, okay? It really doesn't need that, the inner div. Let's delete it, just for your convenience. You will see you could do it this way. Just make sure, if you do that way, just make sure you add another, so you will have another line, so you won't get it congested. Let's look, it will look a little different. This one will look a little different, but still it will work just fine. You see, it almost even doesn't look any different, barely look any different, if you notice. Okay, I just changed. So you don't really have to have this div, but that's really design issues and less concern for us. Moreover, I can even probably can take this one, it will be next to it. So this space that I just added will go away. Let's try that. You see they are next to each other. Doesn't look that nice. You know, if you put something here and immediately click. So you might want to put, but that's really design issues, not really that crucial. But let me put back that extra space, so there will be a little space between those two parts. So this is for entering data, and this is for, by the way, there's something extremely important. Name. Here the name is not crucial because I don't use it. The name here is very important because by this name you know what to do in the function. I will explain that in a minute, okay? So this is very important. We understand the type. This is just style, by the way. You don't really have, this is just making it like a nice looking, you know, goes the whole page, but you can get rid of it. Nothing will happen. You will, here, if you want, you can play with it and you will see the effect of it. I will leave it to you as an exercise. This is very important. Item text, very important. We'll see where we need to use it, okay? I hope this is clear. Any questions, guys, on what we put in the web page? Any questions, guys? Patricia, anybody? Everybody happy? Kiza, are you happy?
Yes.
You're happy. I am happy too. Okay, good. So let's move on. Okay, when I click the button, see, I'm going to type something here. Let's say Kiza. If I go right here, Kiza. I want, when I click here, I want the word Kiza to go to the server, keep it in the database, and then later on we'll show it to me here. But first of all, to go to the database. Okay, in fact, it will go. The only thing is it will not do what it's supposed to do. So I'm not going to even attempt because I will get an error. Let's look at what this function looks like. I'm going to copy this part, first of all, and explain that first. Okay? And explain this one, and then I will explain the other stuff. Okay? Let me go into here. I'm going to go to here again. And let's go back to the view. And look what I'm going to put here. A little comment, which is very interesting. That's crucial, and you learn something more. You know, we always put this request here, and we never know why we do that. This is a very good example to explain why. A request Django have created this object, and it does so much for us. When I click here on the button of submit, this is going to send it back to the same function, and the method going to be post. What the people in Django have done, they said, don't worry. When your command comes to this function, we will put inside the request object the method. So they said, if you really want to know which method got to here, it will be a post or request. By the way, 2 times we're calling this function. I will demonstrate in a minute. But for now, I want to focus only on the method post. Here it will get a post from this form. When I click the button submit, it's sending it to this function, and the request will know, because he's going to read the form behind the screen. We don't see it how he does it. And he's going to put in the request the method, and the method is going to be post. Okay, so I'm checking if the request is post, because the method could be also get, and I will demonstrate the get in a minute. Okay, but if it is a post, what do I want it to do? I want it to put it in the database. So let me break it to 2 parts. Okay, let me take this part first. Let me take this part. Okay, let me take it out. So feel comfortable. Don't be afraid. I'm going to put it here. It will be the same things. I'm going to make a variable text, you know, and I'll put underscore so you know that it's already this text or any other text, okay? And then I'm going to write here text. The same things, by the way. Nothing, I haven't done really anything. The only thing is I just, whatever was inside here, I just put it as a separate. So I'm going to the request, and pay attention very nicely. This request not only keeps what the post is, it also check which kind of input component we have in the form. Pay attention to the name item text. Remember I told you, remember that? Let's look at that here again. You see the name here? So whatever I'm typing inside here, because I gave it a name item text, when I get to here, is going, Django automatically put whatever I typed inside, I can get it by calling request post, and inside I put the name, exactly the name I gave it here, and whatever I typed here, it will be in this text. If you want to know that I'm not lying, I will do print, fair enough, and just write text, okay? I'm not gonna put it in the database. I'm gonna remove this one altogether. So we'll go step by step. I just want to do 2 things. First of all, to prove to you that there are 2 methods of, request can have 2 methods. So I'm gonna write method, and I'm gonna print it. And see, when do I get sometimes the method? Okay, so the reason I'm doing this way, let me keep it here so I won't lose it. Okay, or what I did is, I'm really not using the information. I made a form, a nice form. The form would be able to send the message to this function, but I'm not going to use it. I'm only printing it on here, okay? But every time I'm coming to this function, I do want to tell me which method really called this function. And you will see we'll get, so we'll get 2 types of methods. Let me explain, okay? Let me explain. Let me refresh, and you will see, let's go back here, and I'm just going to refresh. I'm not doing anything. Let's go and see what happened. Here, what does it print here? Get. Everybody see the get? Maybe I'll put here some spaces. This trick you already know from Python, right? Sorry about that. I just want to, I'm realizing I don't really have light here. I turn off the light by mistake and it's getting darker. Sorry about it. Just one second. So I can see and you can see me better. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to type it multiply by, let's say 50. I'll make two of them. So make two after that. This way you can recognize which kind of a method called that one. It will be easy to read it here. And I will make here too. This one, I will just change it to a double so you will know what I typed in. You will see what I typed in, okay? Okay, very good. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to just refresh the screen. See what happened when I refresh. Refreshing, it's like I typed here something here, goes back to that function. And when I'm only putting stuff here, it's really like using a method called get. That's why we should really see the word get. You see the get here? This is the method. This is what I typed here in the middle. So when I get here to this function the first time, it really is a method get. Now, when I get a post, when do I get a post? Here, let's do it. Let's write here Kiza. And I'm submitting. When I'm clicking, I'm going back. I got an error. Text is not defined. Hey, I know why. Hold a second. Sorry about it. Why? Yeah, of course. Because I put underscore there. Yeah, it's just a type. One more time. Let's refresh. Let's go back. Refresh the page. Refresh. We're getting the get. Now we're going to go back. And this time we're going to type Kiza. And I'm submitting. Okay? Okay, it works. Now let's see what it really did. It didn't put it in the database. Only what it did, now see, what is the method? It's a post. And what did I type in? What is this one? This is give me exactly what I typed inside that input, Kiza. I type Kiza, so it's what I'm getting in the text. And I'm saying, print for me the text. But that's not what I really want. What do I really want? I want to put it in the database. I want him to make another row in the database of the items. So, and I want it to be in the item right there. So inside here, I want it to put it into the table here. How do I do it? And here's another command, and there's so many of them, and you learn as you go along. And all what we need to do is just put this one back here. So when it is a post, it means we're getting data. And whatever we're getting, we want to put it in the database. So, and if you look at the model of the item, we have only one column in which we're entering data, and the other one will put the data automatically for us. I remind you again, we have a field of data, dead field, and it automatically will be filled up by today's date because we have auto now. Since it has auto now, it will fill it up automatically, okay? So let's go back to here. And what this one does, it says the item model, the item table, has a function called objects. Has an objects, really, objects. And these objects has a function called create. And when I put the information of the columns in this table, it will just make a new row. So this one will put it inside the data set. And the beautiful part is right after the item table have the word, let's say Kiza, I'm gonna type Kiza again, is going to show it to me. Why is going to show me? Because it's going to pull again all the rows, including the new one, And then it takes this one, put it here, and put it in the template. So let's do it. Let's refresh the screen again. Refresh the screen. I'm going to type Kiza. Okay? Now when I click, what's going to happen, it's going to go to that function. That function will accept the value, put it in the database, and then the table will have one more row with the name Kiza. So I'm expecting here to see the word Kiza and today's date. It will put also the index, because the index is automatically is the primary key, so it will put it automatically too. Let's try and see. Let's click. Let it work. Yeah, we got Kiza. He put another number for the primary key, and he put today's date, March 17th. Beautiful, it works. One more time. Let's type here Marc. Okay, I'm not going to click it yet. I'll click in a second, but let's follow what happened here on the server with Kiza. When we refresh, we just got the gate, okay? Why we got only the gate here? Because, pay attention, in the first time, we only get this one. The method is get, so this one is not working because it works only for post. If the request method is get, this one is not going to happen. Okay, so it's just showing me get. Then later on, when I click the button, it came back to this function, show me that the method is post. And so then I get if the method is post, is showing me what the text I typed in. I typed Kiza, so it's showing me the word Kiza. It showed me, this one is showing me Kiza, that's what I typed in, and it put it in the table. Right after he put it in the table, is reading all the rows and sending it to the template. In the template, now it's the job of this part. This one showing me all the rows as we did last session. By the way, next week, I would like to make a test. I'm going to test you guys on the material we learned so far. Most important, on this form, on the to-do function. So please, all the mentor with the student, don't be afraid, no grade, it's only to help you, okay? Okay, this is good that you do start doing reviews. Okay, we passed more than half of the course, almost 3/4 of the course. It's about time to start exercising and start doing reviews. And please, the mentors go with the students. With your students, start preparing them. Go over that. That's so important element in the course. We finally got the interaction between templates and views, and from the views to the database, to the tables. This is really almost everything theoretically, conceptually you will need. Of course, we'll do more sophisticated stuff, but this is the structure. You finally get to the point to understand the whole structure of Django, okay? So next week, we'll do a mini questions. I won't ask everyone, but everyone should be ready. Okay, questions, guys? Anybody? Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Mildred, are you happy? So here you are. Okay, I always love, you're changing clothes so quickly. Because on the other one, you have a different one. Yeah, okay, good. Daniel, are you happy?
Yes, I am.
So you're going to make sure your student going to be excellent for Sunday.
Yep.
And the same thing, Patricia, you'll be ready for Sunday?
Yes.
Let me see, I haven't seen you for a long time. You haven't seen me either. Here you are.
Here.
Okay, wow. Good. Are you listening to our session? Can you understand everything? Or you are at home?
No, I'm at hostel.
Okay. Who is your mentor?
Daniel.
Okay, so Daniel is going to make sure you'll be ready for Sunday mini test. Okay?
Okay.
Kiza, who is your mentor? I think Michael, is that right? Or I'm wrong?
Yes.
So make sure that Michael makes sure that you know everything for Sunday. Okay, tell Michael to make sure you know everything for Sunday. Mark, how about you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, make sure for Sunday. So you have the whole 3 days to study. Okay, please do. And that's really now every week I will start kind of testing you guys because another 3 weeks we're finishing this course almost. 3 to 4 weeks we're done. And I wanted now to start doing review, and you will see. We're going to start the program called Billings. And this billing is really like doing a whole application from scratch, and we will review almost everything. And then your projects will be very similar. Okay? Good. Very, very good. So Jimmy, how are you?
Fine, Dr.
Okay, good. I talked to Daniel, and in fact, I'm going to give a project to Daniel, not the same, but similar to what Brenda is doing, just a little slightly different, how to deal with Excel and Python. I think this is excellent exercise for you to join both of them for that one, okay? Good. So let's move on. So now that we're finally done with this topic, if anybody has questions, please, that's the time. Mildred, you know that stuff by heart, don't you?
Yeah.
Who is your student? Who? So you're gonna help Michael help Kiza, okay? Okay, Mildred.
Yes.
Good. What about Fazio? Who is helping Fazio?
I'm the one.
Ah, you are?
Yeah.
So I see, I talked to him, in fact, yesterday or before yesterday. Probably the communication sometimes is low, but please touch base with him, make sure that he goes over the session of today, okay? And he knows everything. Okay, good. Now we will start the billings application, and we're going to go step by step, and I'm expecting the students of certificate 2 help us. So here we go. I already have billings, so I'm going to comment it out. I'm going to remove everything as I did last time, if you recall. I'm going to rename it just for myself. So if I need to copy some things, I'll copy it from there. But I'm going to make a new application. By the way, anyone from certificate 2 or certificate 1, to remove application, I already have the billings. I could delete it, by the way. Just click, delete, it'll gone. But that will give me an error. To avoid the error, I must go to 2 places. First place I have to go is the setting. In the setting, I have to go to the base and make sure that that program, the billings will not be there. Otherwise, I will get an error. It will say, well, you're telling me you have an application, the billings, and it doesn't there. So I have to delete it. Otherwise, I get an error. This is how I delete an application, okay? Then another place I need to go. Which other place I need to go? Anyone? Anyone? Which other place I have to remove an application? Any volunteer?
URLs of the project.
The URLs, is that right? And I should remove this line, is that right?
That's right.
Otherwise I get an error. I'm gonna get an error anyway. I have to remove it from other places. You will see in a minute. Anybody wants to guess, why should I get an error? I might get an error. Let's run it and you say I will get an error. I should get an error. Let's run it. Oops. Why did it like me? Here we go. It will complain, not immediately. In a minute, you will see it will complain. Let me remove this one, so we'll go from scratch. Enter, and I got an error, you see? The billings is not registered, namespace. Hey, what is this error probably is? It tells me, it's in the base. You see that? What is this template? Okay, so let's go and see what is this best template. Okay, by the way, you're noticing everything I'm saying we already have learned. If you go into the templates here, we made a template called base. So I'm going to go there. And if you see here, I will do Control F and I will type D billings. I will find it. I should find it. D billings, is that right? Anybody find it? No, I don't see it. I thought it, no, maybe it's already here. It's inheriting, it's really probably the main. Let's look at the error again. Here we go, URLs, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to this one. Yeah. So where is, let's see the error here. Here we go. It says you have a static in which one? HTML, blah, blah, blah. Which HTML is that? Thread, template, base in line 12. So let's go to line 12. I didn't say it's in line 12. Let's go back to the base, line 12. Anybody see line 12? Here it is. Okay, line 12. Here it is. I'm getting an error. Why I'm getting an error? I shouldn't really get error for this one. No, I shouldn't get error for this one. See what it says. This can be right. No, this is wrong. It's making a mistake. Hey, that's funny. That's not the right error, really. This is not the error, okay? There's really no error in this page. Hope you one day get to this level, get confident. This is a style sheet. So this is not really the error, although he's telling me this is the error. So I don't believe him. He probably have his own errors. The error is really probably in the main. Let's go and go to the applications and look at the main page. Under the main, as you know, we have the base main. Let's double click here. And if you go here, you will see there is a billing. We have a link to the billing application. And it doesn't know what billings is because I deleted it. So let's remove that. That should take care of it. Maybe we have it in other places. So we'll see in a minute. Control C, start again. Go here and refresh the page. Let's go here, refresh. Okay, so I don't like to do that way. Let's do one more. Now I'll refresh it. Okay, no error. Right? No error. Hey, but I have a to do here. Why I'm not getting an error? Anybody wants to guess? Let's click to do. Ah, no, to do is fine. Sorry, my mistake. To do is fine. I don't have billings. Is that right? Billing is disappeared because I removed it. So now I really removed it from everywhere. I removed that from everywhere. Now we're going to do the other way around. We want to put it back. So I'm going to close everything. And I want somebody to write it down. Everything we're doing, somebody is going to write down. Okay? All the steps, You know, I will write it too. Brenda, are you writing it too? Who's writing it? Steps to add application to project. Okay, what is step number 1? Anyone? Okay, I will ask you guys. Let's start with Mildred. What is step number 1 if I want to make a new application?
You
What do you
write,
say? Don't be afraid. You can be wrong. Don't be afraid.
you write the command Python.
Beautiful. We do the command.
Py.
Here we go. Control C. I will do Python manage
Py.
start app. No, start app. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right, guys? Daniel, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Very good. We want to call it the billings. We keep the same things. We're keeping the billings. And that will build up the structure of the program. Fair enough? So far, so good? So that's the step number 1. Let's copy it. Copy it right to here so you'll have it. Let's write it here. Okay, we start with this. Number 2 in a second we'll do. Okay? So let's run it. And that's creating, it doesn't show anything, but it really did, is nice to us. It did if you go down here, you will see added billings here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put it in the right place. I'm just dragging it to the apps. You can do it directly, but you have to change directory and I'm not feeling like doing it. This is easier for me. So I just copied it here. By the way, this is the old one. I put underscore, so it doesn't really care about it, but I keep it because I'm gonna copy code from there later on. So, okay, so that's stage number 1. How do we make it alive? Stage number 2 is, anybody?
You go to the URLs of the project.
Add it to the URLs and the settings. Okay, 2 places I need to add it. How do we do that? So let's do it. Let's go to the URLs. Where is the URLs? Here it is. Remember, that's the URLs of the project. Double click. And as you know me, I love to copy. I love copying. So I'm copying one of those. You know, do that to do, because you might not have the other one. Control copy, and just change here. Instead to do the billings. And I'm going to copy these the billings, copying it to here. That's 1. Second place I need to do is go to the settings. Where's the settings? Right here. Go to the base. And again, I must love to copy from himself. In the section of installed apps, we go to the to-do, copy it. And I'm going to write the billings. Okay, now the application is in the framework. Is it working? Of course, it's not doing anything. Okay, we want to know what to do. So the next things, what the next things we're supposed to do? Now we combine that. 3, it's add URL for the app. Meaning, and as you know me, I love to copy for myself. I'll go to do, and here we go, URLs. Right click, copy. There's no URLs when he's building up for us the billings. He doesn't really put any URLs here, as you notice. So I'm going to here and paste it. And leave the same name. That's what I want. But that's not the function that I want. I'm going to delete those stuff. And don't forget, here change it to name to be the billings. Fair enough? So that means I will get to here, I will get to a function called index, but this function doesn't exist. So I might, and in fact, if you look here, we're kind of bringing some stuff. I'm going to throw away those ones because those ones don't exist here. I copied it from myself. So, but this one, the reason it has a little line below because I haven't really defined it yet. I didn't define it in the views. So what the next stage we're going to do? Number 4, create function. It's depend. I call it index in this case in the views. So I will call it, the function will be in this example, the function is index. Okay, I could have called it whatever I want. So I'm going to the views and I'm going, and you know me, I love to copy for myself and you can do too, you should. Okay, don't waste your time. Let's go to the views, but really know what you're doing. I'm gonna copy the whole things from here and then I will remove the whole other, the stuff that I don't need. So I'm gonna go here. I go to the views, not this one, I don't need this one. I go to the views of this one, it's gonna be empty. I'm going to just put it here. And of course, this is gonna be different. The bad thing is the first time, just delete everything. You don't really care about anything, so you just want it to work. Later on, you play with it. And pay attention, when you make the function, you're not going to have this template in the to-do. No. You want it to be in where? You're going to make another the billings template directory. Okay, and we're not going to put any variables, so we're making just really the framework, nothing. But this one doesn't exist. So I changed the function to where the template's supposed to be, but this one doesn't exist. Pay attention. I don't have under the billings, I don't have templates at all. Again, so what Amos does, in fact, will be easier here to do. Right click, I will put new directory, and we call that one templates. Fair enough. I hope I didn't misspell it. And under that one, we need to have another directory called, where is the directory? That one will give it the same name as we usually do, the billings. And under that one, we need to have the index template. Let me write it down before we forget. The next stage, 5, create the templates directory and put index.html file. Fair enough? Not only that, in fact, 2 things we will need to put. This one, put the billings underscore base and those 2 we will need to put there. Okay, that's what we really should do. Okay, so far we just files. 2 files we need to put there. And second, let me save it so we don't lose it. It's a good one to send to you. Okay, let me save it in my downloads and I will give it to, I will call it steps to create app. Okay, in Django. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna save it. So you will have it. I will send it to you in the WhatsApp, so everyone will have it. So step number one, we did this one already. We talked about it. We start making the templates, directory. In the template, we made the directory called the billings, but I'm going to copy for myself. If we go to the to-do, you see the to-do, under his template, we have an index. Let me copy the index, and later on I will change it. I put it right here, paste it into there. Okay, I will play with it in a second. I'm intentionally closing it so it won't confuse you. Okay, and then the next things I want to copy from here is the base. Is that right? Copy. Where's the copy? Copy. And I'm copying it into, don't forget, not in the billings, right above it. Right click and paste. And now we don't want to call it best to do, of course. We're going to call it the billings. Fair enough?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now, after I copy that, now just make sure that everything's inside. Okay, so we copied already two templates. One the base and one the index. For here, we will be using just the index, but in a minute, when we double click here, I'm going to the index, see we're extending the base. I don't want to extend it to do, I want to extend the billings. So here I'm going to change it to the billings. Fair enough? I'm going to delete everything from here so I don't get confused. Everything's inside. I will keep the block of the body, and I'm just going to write. Who is my favorite student? Who is my favorite student?
Kiza.
That's right. Kiza. And all the others. Okay? And we'll write here, also we will make H1, and we call it the billings app. Okay? So that's really what I put in. I didn't really put anything. The important thing is that I'm inheriting from the best debilling, which is this one. So let's make sure that this one is done correctly. So let's see. This is doing the job. Yeah, it's inheriting from the base. I don't really need to change that. It tells me the application needs to do. No, the application is not. I'm going to change it so the title will be billings. Okay, the title will be billings. Oh, I have already a link done automatically going to the mail. That's fine. That's really what I want. The rest is empty, so I don't really care. Beautiful, done. Let's see if it works. What do you think? It works or not? If it doesn't work, so what the heck, we'll fix it. So don't be afraid. 99% of the time, it doesn't work for me. Okay, so I do it again and again and again until it works. So I go back to right here. First of all, it works, so I didn't get an error, which is good. That's nice, not to get an error. Still, I don't see in the list, I don't see here billings program. Is that right? Anybody see billings here? Is that right? Let's make sure before I go to the next point, we created those two, okay? I will write it as a stage number 6, not only create. In 5, I will just make it and change the files to fit the DP links app. You know what I mean? All those changes I did. Okay, now number 6, add the app to the main app. Is that right? I don't see this is the main application. When I open, it's opening the main. But I don't see here the billings, do you? So what should we do? Anybody? How do we add billings, the billings to this list? Anyone wants to help?
You have to go to main.
Okay, beautiful. So somebody suggests this correctly. Go to the main application. Very nice. Let's go back. I do
template.
whatever it tells me. I go to the main. Here is the main. What do you want me to go?
Template.
I go to the templates. Very good. Yeah.
Then base main.html.
Very good. I go to the base because in the base, we're dealing with the application tools. So as you know me, I love to copy for myself. I take this one, copy it for myself, and I just change it, okay? Instead of to do, I will just change this one, billings. I will call it billings, and here I must write the exact D billings, that's the way we call it. And we want it to go to the function index. So now that will show up there. Let's see. Try it again. Go there. And beautiful. You see, we have billings. Everybody see, we have billings now. Everybody see, we have billings now.
Yes.
Question if it works. Let's see if it works. Okay, I can close those one, I think. One needed. Let's see if it works. Let's click. It works. What do you think, guys? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is a very good summary. All the steps to make a new application. We really added a new application. See, now it becomes to be really clear. All the people in certificate 2 now, they really know it's very good. They're doing it the second time. So doing it the second time, it means you really know. You need to do it 3 times, honestly. Everything you study in life, you should do it 3 times. Then you know that you know. And after 3, you become to be an expert. Knowing, you need 3 times. After that, the more you do, the more expert you are. Okay? So then this is the steps, beautiful. But it doesn't do anything. Is that right? Let's play a little bit. Okay, let's play a little bit. Okay, let's play a little bit. If I want to go to the billings, let's go to the billings. Oops. Let's play a little bit. If I go here, okay, and I want to make a little table, I can do it, can't I? Just do, let's put some spaces here first. VR slash, this is just to, let's make a table. Please go over with your student. I'm going to ask them. Table, and in the table, I can have PR, it's a new row. Inside the row, I can write whatever I want in the TD. TD. And let's call this one name. And the next one, we will call TD grade. And now I'm going to make another row, TR. And in the TR, the first student is going to be Kiza. And which grade do you think he's going to get on Sunday? Which grade do you think he's going to get? So let's see, first of all, the screen. Let's see what the screen looks like. Let's see how the screen looks like. We're going to billings. Oh, we saw Kiza. Name is Kiza. And grade. Hey, there's no grade. Kiza, what do you think? Which grade is you going to be here?
Good.
Good? No, I don't think it's good enough. Excellent. Am I right? Is that right?
Yes.
Exactly. You don't want to be good. Good is not good enough. Excellent. 100 you want to get. Is that right? That's what you want. Now, if I refresh it, we are getting, you see, we have a table. Really pretty cool, nice. You can make it nicer. Usually the titles, and you can use CSS. That's for some. That's for this one. You can really change to TH. No, this one T-head. I don't. I'm not gonna play with it. That's what we'll do some other time. But this is really just giving me the titles, and this is really the other. And you can make nice looking tables. Okay, that's where we'll focus a lot more in a little bit this semester, but mostly next semester. Okay, this is really, we got a structure for the deep billings applications. One of the most important things we're going to do, we're going to build up applications to put customers and then make them, and then charge them, change their billings. And we'll see, we'll have items and we'll have another table. We can add items to the tables, add more customers in here. Ever since in fact, it's already there and we're just going to mimic everything we have done here. So let me just go over it quickly and that will be enough for today. We'll go to the models. In the models, we will add a table of customers, a table of invoices, tables of item in the inventory, a table for invoices items. Items in each invoice. We'll explain that next time. So 4 tables we'll create. In addition, now we'll have the views. In the views, we will learn a lot of other stuff, okay? We'll learn something that called a generic views, some of which I will show as a generic view, some of which I will show you how you do the same things. And we'll see how we go. You can use as a function, okay? This one you will see will be very similar to doing a list view, but we'll talk about it next time. So we'll make views and those views will help us to update the information in the customer, to update the lead customer, you know, everything. We will call it the CRUD elements. CRUD spelled like that. CRUD is really create, retrieve, update, and delete. So that's what we will learn next time. Fair enough? We'll learn it next time. All of those we will see, we'll learn here. We'll add to the index, we'll add all those stuff right there. Okay? That will be in the view. Okay? You ask how do we call each one of those views. We'll learn that as well. And secondly, how do we see the tables in the admin? So that's one would be easy. We'll do one and then the rest will be as an exercise and models with talks and that's it. And then we'll finish the billings and then you'll be ready for the big one, which will be also your exam. After the billings, you will be doing the game store, which will be your test. Okay? Thank you guys. Questions? Everybody happy? Let's see everybody. Mark, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm happy. Yeah. This is really the time to start doing review. We're going to review the whole things one more time. We'll review it now, and then you will do the projects with your mentor, the game store. You go over the whole things, and then we'll have a test. So we'll review everything, and everybody knows how I do the test. Brenda, how do I do the test?
Practically test that by asking us to do what you
Excellent. So now that you have experience, you're going to do a test to your student, but much more than I ask, because, and you just prepare them for any question I might ask, okay? So start doing the review, it's the time. Start reviewing the material, everything we went over today. Excellent review, please do go over it. Okay, so we take a break for 5 minutes. What do you say, Brenda? Okay, then we do certificate too. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you, Patricia. Hey, why is Patricia disappear?
Maybe after the 5 minutes, Jimmy wants to have a word with you.
Okay, so we'll meet you guys in 5 minutes. Have a good one, guys.
Excuse me, Dr. Amos.
Yeah?
Kiza wants to talk to you.
Patricia?
Kiza.
Yeah, I want to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you show me your notepad?
I don't hear you, sweetie. Speak to the microphone.
Show him your
That you
notepad.
show him your notepad.
Say again?
That
Can
you
you tell me, can you show me your notepad?
I don't hear him clear.
He wants to observe the summary you made for the app.
Ah, that's right. You see, how did I know that you are the best student? Because nobody else asked that. Only you. You see that? So I wasn't wrong. You're absolutely right. I promised to send you the summary, and I'm gonna do it right now.